Hey everyone, welcome to a new Liquor Day Keeps the Doctor Away. Sorry I didn't get a chance to put a video up yesterday. Sometimes things do get in the way, but I'll try and do it as frequently as I can. Anyway, today's lick is more of an idea or a riff that you can kind of take somewhere yourself. I got some ideas with it. It starts with a basis for the first part of the riff. Kind of goes 4 times, but the ending changes, if you know what I mean. So it's something that you can play around with, basically, which is kind of a cool thing. Give you an idea of something that you can just play around with yourself in your own time. But the main riff sounds like this. Okay, and then after that we end it differently. But on the first and third time we do this. Okay, and then the second and fourth time we have 2 different endings. Okay, so this is basically a B blues type thing. That sort of thing, okay? So we're kind of using a lot of that, this note here. So if we're playing in B, instead of going, often we'll go, okay? So we have that kind of Dorian note that you get a lot. So expect to see that coming up. So to play the first part, which is this, okay, is we're going to start on the 9th fret on the 3rd finger on the D. And then we're going to play 7th fret over the G and B, barring the 1st finger. But then we hammer onto the 8th fret on the G. Then back to the 9th fret on the D. Okay. Sometimes I mute it a bit, like that. And then I roll that finger over to the 9th fret of the G and B. Okay. Okay. Then back to the 9th fret again. Again, you can kind of mute it a little bit. But after this, we are going to slide up. So now we have. Then I kind of go, okay, which is sliding into the 11th fret on the G. It is a G, yeah. 11th fret on the G and then 10th fret on the B at the same time. So you want to kind of get used to that movement there. Don't be alarmed if there's going to be some noise when you play this before you've gotten used to it. And after that, we're going to go kind of maybe hit the strings a few times. So instead of hitting a note after this, like you might want to hit that 9th fret on the D afterwards, but it's kind of difficult to always play that note perfectly. So often in between or after that slide, I'll just hit the side of the strings or hit the strings with the side of my hand, like that sort of thing, and then go. Okay, so that'll be 9th fret on the G and B, and then again 7th fret on the G and B, but hammer on to the 8th fret on the G. Minor to major. Whoops. So then after that we're going to go, which is 9th fret on the D and then 9th fret on the G and B, rolling that 3rd finger, and then back to the D on the 9th fret. And then that minor to major thing again that we did before. And then we're going to end it with, which is 9, 6, 9 on that D. Sometimes you can mute the notes a little bit. Whatever you want to do. Depends what kind of style you're going for. But anyway, that's the first way that we play the riff. The second time, again, we start off with this. But then we go. Okay. Again, very bluesy sounding phrase. We're going to start off on the 9th fret on the D, and then we're going to hammer on that minor to major on the G, 7 to 8. So that's kind of a ghost note, hammer on there, 7 to 8. So just pretend that you're just really playing the 8th fret, but you're just hammering into it. Okay, and then we play 7 on the B and high E. So really you want to think of it like this. Okay? But you hammer into that major note there. Then we're going to go, which is a pull off from the 10th to the 7th here on the B. Then we're going to go. Okay, again this one is a little half step bend on the 9th fret up to the 10th fret. And then we pick it again, like a pre-bend note, bend it down and pull off to the 7th fret, okay? Okay? And then finally end it with the 9th fret on the G. Then after that, we go which is the start of the phrase again, really. So really, we kind of we ended that phrase with this note, right? So when we first started the whole thing, we started with this note, right? But we can pretend that this note that we ended with here is in place of the D 9th fret instead, okay? Because that's how we go into the next repetition, I should say. Okay, and then that time, on the third time here, we're going to end it the same way as we did the first time. And finally, for the last time, we'll start again doing that. Then we're going to go. And then, okay? So again, another really bluesy sounding lick. I really like this one. So we kind of play this 9th fret and 9th fret on the B, 10th fret on the high A together with a bit of a bend. Lovely sound. Then we're going to go, which is 7th fret on the high E and B. Then we're going to slide a ghost note from the 10th fret to the 9th and pull off to the 7th on the G, okay? And then play the 9th fret on the D. Then finally end it with a bit of a jump here. I use my second finger on that 9th fret on the A, first finger on the 6th fret of the D, and then little finger on the 9th fret of the D, okay? It's just the easiest way to do it for me. Then back into that riff again. Okay, so there are different ways that you can variate it. Hope you have some fun with that and be able to take it in your own direction. I'll see you next time. Take care.